Hey guys, my name is Kayla and welcome to today's vlog. It's my first ever reading vlog. I'm about to start the Song of Achilles in a split second and I just thought, why not vlog the process? I have read Circe. I absolutely loved it. That book was amazing and I've heard that people even like the Song of Achilles more than Circe, which I don't even know how that could be possible. I was kind of spoiled with Circe already, so I know what's gonna happen. And I don't think I'm ready. So let's just suffer together, shall we? So in case you haven't heard about this book at all, which I kind of doubted because it's been all over YouTube, all over TikTok, Instagram, everywhere. It's basically about the hero Achilles and his life and the Trojan War. I think that's how you say it. I still don't understand why it's not Trojan War because of the city Troy, but I just want to see if it's worth the hype or not. Also, I will keep this spoiler free for the most part, but if there will be a spoiler, I will let you know on the screen ahead of time so you can skip it in case you haven't read it yet. Okay, now let's just get into reading. I don't have as much time as I thought that I would have because I do have to run some errands. By the way, I will be reading the Czech version because that's what I have. I don't even own the English version. I got this years ago when it first became popular. Okay, now let's just finally get to reading. So I've just read the first chapter and it reminds me so much of how Circe was written that it just warms my heart for some reason. And unfortunately I have to go already because I find it really hard to focus when I know that I have stuff to do or places to be after I read. I listen to this ambience, let me show it to you. It's called Roman and Hellenic Ambience, A Night at Athena's Temple, and it just makes the whole reading experience so much better and it helps me focus too. So I highly recommend for you to try out ambiances when you read too. Okay, I think I will check back with you once something important happens or once I will actually read more of the book. Alright. Hello, it's Saturday, it's the next day morning. My plans just got cancelled, so I think I'm just going to read today. And I'm roughly 100 pages in and I've got a few things to say, okay? So, thing number one, all of the violence and the slavery just makes me super uncomfortable and it's honestly really off-putting, I'm not gonna lie. That's thing number one. Thing number two, when I was reading yesterday, I have realized that I completely remember the whole story of Achilles from the time I read it in school like years ago or from different movies, and now I don't really want to continue because I know what's about to happen and I know that it's really traumatizing and it's a really sad story. Honestly, I think I'll just try to read it in one sitting and, you know, kind of like rip the band-aid off because otherwise I think I would just have to DNF it. I know that there will be one traumatizing event after another and I don't know if I'm really ready for that. I think I'm just not really in the mood for sad and traumatizing events. And to be honest, I just want to get it over with. And it makes me sad because I was really looking forward to reading this book. For some reason, I just remembered that somebody said they didn't like Circe, the book, because there was just one traumatic event after another. But like, I think this is even worse. Currently, Patroclus and Achilles are in the cave of Chiron, and honestly, I think this is where the story should end. Like, I don't want to continue anymore. Let's just see. I'll try to read as much as I can. I know that this book will traumatize me, and that's okay. Hi, again. By the way, there is a missing book there. there, whatever. I hope it doesn't bother you. So, I'm just about to finish the book, and before I do, I've got a few things to say. So thing number one is that I have completely misinformed myself, because I used to think that this is a young adult book for years, and then I started reading it. I was just like, oh, this is like way too violent and explicit to be a young adult book. It is an adult book. I had no idea, which explains so much. And I wish I would have informed myself that was the case, because then I wouldn't really be in for a terrible surprise. I don't know why I assumed that it was young adult. Probably because it was really popular on BookTube a few years ago, and only young adult books were popular back then. Or if it is because Achilles and Patroclus are pretty much, 16 in the majority of the story. So, yeah, I don't know why I thought that, to be honest. It just came out of nowhere, really. I was really confused why Madeline Miller didn't use the whole heel legend. So I looked it up, and I didn't even realize that this legend wasn't part of the original Iliad. So I just thought, oh, maybe it's time for me to read the actual Iliad, because I only read retellings in my life. However, I kind of want to take a break from the Trojan War. I'm not gonna read it now. I'm gonna read it in months probably, because I feel traumatized so much, and I haven't even gotten to the ending yet. Madeline Miller said that she didn't want to use it because the heel legend came about only after 1,000 years after Iliad was written, so it makes sense. I was so surprised by that. I didn't even realize that was the case. Alright, yeah, I will read the last few chapters, and I'll check back with you once I'll be finished. I'm not ready for this, but it has to be done. I need to finish it. Alright, I'll see you soon. Well, this was torture. I'm not even kidding when I'm telling you that this book gave me nightmares. Literal nightmares. I was dreaming about the freaking Trojan War for 2 days straight. So if you haven't read the book, now it's time for you to leave. I'm going to be talking about spoilers. And if you have read the book, welcome. Let's talk. Okay, you know what? Let me start by saying that I don't even know what to rate this, because objectively, it is a 5-star read, 100%. It has a great writing, a great storytelling. It's amazing. Subjectively, I haven't enjoyed this book as much because I was sad the entire time and just completely depressed. Right after this, I need to read a YA fluffy contemporary, because I cannot handle anything else. I think the only part of the book that didn't completely traumatize me was when Patroclus and Achilles were in the Chiron's cave. I think I need a book that's only just Patroclus and Achilles and Chiron together in that cave, living a good life. Please, can we have that? I'm really glad that it was told from the point of Patroclus, because Patroclus was relatable. He made mistakes, he was simply human, but a really good person, while Achilles was really hard to relate to. I mean, he was half god and perfect and amazing in battle, and I couldn't really relate to him that much, especially in the end. That was I wanted to strangle him, I kid you not. I do understand why he did it, but god damn it, man's ego, just whatever. I get where he was coming from, because let's be honest, Agamemnon, I hope that's how you pronounce his name, was a piece of shit. But he was nothing compared to the pinnacle of all trash, Achilles' son, Nepos Stupidus, whatever his name was. I hated that kid with every fiber of my being. And I do think that he was this way because he was raised by Thetis, which I think in the end she had acknowledged her mistakes and she became somewhat of a tolerable character, I guess. You know, I think she redeemed herself in the end when she was talking to Patroclus's soul that was left behind, and I actually end up liking her in the end. I mean, she had a terrible life, but she really cared about Achilles in her own way. And I think in the end she really realized the mistakes she did, and I think she really wanted to see Achilles and probably apologize, but she couldn't because she couldn't go into the underworld. I really did like Briseis. I think she was one of the best characters along with Patroclus. It was really interesting to see the relationship between them. I honestly think that if Patroclus wouldn't have met Achilles, that he would be with her. In my personal opinion, I think Patroclus was bi, and I think it's even rumored that he might have had a sexual relationship with Briseis in the Iliad. I'm not exactly sure, so don't quote me on that. Along with Achilles, I think. Let's talk about Odysseus for a while. I actually enjoyed his character in this book. I have read Circe, and in that book he pissed me off so much. I really hated his character in Circe, but here he was somewhat tolerable. You could tell that he was really smart, almost too smart for his own good. Let's just say that I didn't completely hate him in this book. Like, he was okay. I mean, there were characters that were way worse than Odysseus. Like I said before, I thought that this was a young adult book, so I wasn't really prepared for all the violence and rapes and all that. Honestly, if I knew that, I don't think I would have picked it up right now, because I didn't really want to read about that. I think I was just not in the right state of mind to be reading about stuff like that right now. But what's done is done. I was originally planning on reading another retelling about the Trojan War. I always call it Trojan War. I know it's Trojan War. I wanted to read The Silence of the Girls by Pat Barker. This is the Trojan War from the points of women. But honestly, I'm not ready for that. I think the second book, The Woman of Troy, came out somewhat recently, and I don't know if it's from a different point of view or if it's like a duology. I'm not exactly sure, but I'm definitely not going to read it right now because I need to heal myself from all the wounds that this book gave me. Now, do I think that this book is worth the hype? Yes, absolutely. I think it's one of the best retellings I've ever read. It is really amazing. Okay, that's all I have to say, really. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in my next video, hopefully. Bye.